The night on Mars Colony 9 was quiet, almost too quiet. The red dust lay still and the air was thin and dry. Only the wind whispered softly against the metal walls of a small workshop at the edge of the colony. Inside that workshop, a man named Eli Ward sat alone, fixing an old service drone that had seen better days. He was a human mechanic, one of the few who still preferred tools over machines that could fix themselves. Eli's hands were rough, his face marked by years of work and silence. He liked quiet nights because they kept his thoughts steady. Out here, far from Earth and far from people, he didn't need to pretend. He could just be a man fixing things that were broken. But that night something strange happened. A sudden flash tore across the dark sky, bright, silver, and silent at first. Eli looked up through the cracked glass roof of his workshop. The light grew bigger, brighter, and then a loud boom shook the ground. The tools on his bench rattled. The drone fell off the table with a metallic clank. "What in the stars?" Eli whispered. He ran outside, shielding his eyes from the dust blowing in the wind. In the distance, beyond the ridge, something was burning. A soft blue flame instead of orange. Blue fire meant energy plasma, not fuel. Whatever had fallen wasn't from any human ship. Eli grabbed his jacket and flashlight, his curiosity stronger than his fear. The desert stretched for miles, glowing faintly under Mars's 2 moons. After a few minutes of walking, he found a small crater. In the center of it lay a glowing object, no bigger than a loaf of bread. It wasn't a rock. It was shaped like a bird with metal feathers bent and broken. Its wings were cracked, one half melted from the fall. The glow came from its chest, a pulsing blue light fading in and out like a heartbeat. Eli stepped closer. The air felt charged, almost alive. "Looks like you had a rough landing," he muttered. When he reached out to touch it, the glow flickered faster. Then a weak, trembling voice came from it. Not mechanical, not robotic, but soft and childlike. "Please, fix me." Eli froze. The voice was faint, almost like a whisper inside his head. He looked around, but there was no one. Just the desert wind. Then it spoke again. "She's crying. Please fix me." Eli's heart skipped. He'd worked on many machines, but none had ever spoken with emotion. This thing, and whatever it was, sounded alive. He carefully lifted the small metal bird. It was lighter than it looked and warm like skin. "You're safe now," he said quietly, though he wasn't sure why. "Let's get you fixed." He carried it back to his workshop, setting it on his table. The blue light dimmed as if the thing was tired. Eli took off his gloves and began inspecting the damage. The metal was not like anything he'd seen before, flexible, smooth, and glowing faintly at the edges. The inside looked half machine, half organism. He grabbed a magnifier lens and leaned in closer. The broken circuits pulsed softly like veins. "What kind of tech are you?" he murmured. He connected a small diagnostic wire, but his tools gave strange readings. The energy source didn't match any known human pattern. It was something far beyond human science. And yet, as Eli worked, the machine seemed to respond. Its lights grew stronger. The bird's head turned slightly, and its eyes, 2 bright blue lenses, opened. "Hello?" the soft voice said. Eli jumped back. The bird blinked slowly. Who are you?" it asked weakly. "I'm Eli. I found you out there," he said carefully. "You crashed. It repeated, as if trying to remember. Then it looked around the room with glowing eyes. "Where is she? Who?" "The girl," it said, almost crying. "My girl, she's crying," Eli frowned. "You belong to someone?" The bird nodded, wings twitching slightly. "Her name, I can't remember, but she was small. She used to laugh when I sang. A broken memory." Eli's heart softened. This wasn't just a machine. It was holding on to something, someone. "You're a toy, aren't you?" he said gently. "I was," the bird whispered. "Now I'm lost," Eli sighed. "Then let's fix that." He spent hours repairing it, soldering tiny circuits, reshaping the wings, and patching energy lines. The bird hummed softly as he worked, sometimes singing a few broken notes that sounded like an old lullaby. As the night deepened, its body began to glow with soft blue light again. When he finished, Eli smiled tiredly. "There, you're good as new." The bird lifted its head. "Thank you, Eli." He smiled faintly. "You're welcome. What should I call you?" The toy paused. Then it whispered, "Cora, my name is Cora." Eli nodded. "Nice to meet you, Cora." But before he could say more, Cora's eyes flared red for a moment. Her voice dropped to a whisper. "She's coming." "My mistress is coming," Eli frowned. "Who's coming?" Cora turned her head toward the dark window. The blue light in her chest flickered wildly. Her mother. She will find me, and she kills those who touch what is hers. The workshop lights dimmed. Outside, thunder rolled across the dry Martian sky, but there were no clouds. Eli looked up, his hands trembling slightly. Something was coming, something powerful, and it was looking for him. The next morning on Mars Colony 9 was strangely silent. Even the usual hum of mining drones seemed distant. Inside his small workshop, Eli Ward stared at the strange metal bird sitting on his table. It wasn't just a machine, it was alive. Cora. That was what it called itself. Her blue light now glowed softly, pulsing like a calm heartbeat. She had been quiet for hours as if asleep, but Eli couldn't forget her last words. She's coming, and she kills those who touch what is hers. Eli tried to shake it off. Maybe it was just damaged programming. Maybe it wasn't real. Yet deep inside he felt that it was real and dangerous. He reached for his coffee, then stopped when he noticed the air felt strange, lighter. The lights in the room flickered. A faint humming sound filled the air, not from any machine he owned. Then Cora's eyes opened again. She's searching for me, she whispered. Eli frowned. Who, this mother you keep talking about? Cora nodded weakly. My mistress. She rules the Serenai Empire. She is powerful and beautiful. But she is also angry. Eli laughed nervously. Empire, you mean there's more like you out there? Cora looked at him sadly. Not like me. I am only a fragment. A piece of her child's soul. The real body of the child was lost. I was made to hold her memories. Her laughter. Her heart. Eli stopped moving. You're telling me you're alive. Because you carry someone's soul? Cora blinked. Yes, the girl loved stars and songs. She wanted to visit Earth. She thought humans could feel emotions deeper than any other race. Her voice trembled. But then, there was fire. The ship fell. She cried, and I went dark. Eli leaned back, staring at her. He couldn't believe what he was hearing, but he also couldn't deny the ache in her voice. It wasn't mechanical. It was pain. Real pain. He rubbed his forehead. So your queen or mother or whatever she is thinks humans did it? Cora nodded. She believes humans destroyed the ship. She hates your kind for that, Eli sighed. Then I guess I'm not her favorite person right now. Cora tilted her head. You fixed me. That means you care. Not many do. Eli smiled faintly. I just don't like seeing broken things stay broken. The bird's chest glowed brighter. Then you are different, Eli Ward. He didn't know what to say. For a moment, the workshop was silent except for the soft hum of alien light. But then Cora suddenly twitched, her wings spreading wide. Sparks flashed around her. What's happening? Eli asked. Cora's voice was tight. She's getting closer. The link is opening. The windows rattled. The sky outside turned white, then purple, then black again. A deep sound rolled through the air like thunder underwater. Eli ran outside, shielding his face. He looked up and froze. High above the colony, the clouds twisted into a spiral. Something massive shimmered within it, like a mirror breaking the sky. Blue lightning crawled through the clouds, and a faint golden shape appeared. A ship, but unlike any human craft. It was elegant, glowing, alive, Eli whispered. That's her, isn't it? Cora didn't answer. Her body floated from the table, glowing brighter. The ship was descending slowly without sound, but the air trembled as it came closer. The miners in the distance ran for shelter. The communication towers sparked. Every power line flickered and died. Eli took a step back. This is insane. Cora hovered beside him. Don't be afraid. She can feel fear. I'm human, Eli said. That's what we do best. Then the light from the ship shot down like a beam of gold. It hit the ground not far from Eli's workshop, melting the red sand into glass. When the light faded, someone was standing there, tall, graceful, dressed in silver armor that shimmered like starlight. Her skin glowed faintly, her eyes golden like suns. Her long hair floated as if in water. Eli's breath caught in his throat. She was beautiful, but her beauty was terrifying, almost divine. Cora whispered, Queen Seraphine. The woman raised her head, scanning the area with cold, glowing eyes. My child's signal is here. Her voice was deep, echoing, and filled with power. Eli's first instinct was to hide, but it was useless. Her eyes turned toward him instantly, like she could feel his heartbeat. Human, she said. You touched what is mine. Eli swallowed hard.
I didn't know she fell from the sky.
I just fixed her. Seraphine's gaze softened for half a second, then hardened again. You repaired something even my own people cannot restore. You brought life to a dead soul fragment. She stepped closer, and the air shimmered with her every move. Do you know what that means? Eli shook his head. No, I just didn't want her to die. Her golden eyes narrowed. You speak of life as if you understand it, yet your kind destroys everything it touches. Cora floated between them. Mother, please. He saved me. Seraphine looked at the bird, then at Eli again. For a moment her expression changed. Curiosity, confusion, something almost human. She reached out her hand toward him, her fingers glowing faintly. You repaired my child's heart, she said softly. For that you have my attention. Eli took a step back. You're welcome, I guess. Her tone dropped cold again. But no one touches what belongs to the house of Saranai. The sky darkened behind her as if obeying her mood. You will come with me, human. Your hands and your life now belong to me. Eli's heart pounded. Wait, what does that even mean? Seraphine's lips curved into a faint, almost sad smile. It means, she said, you will never fix anything again unless I command it. The golden light around them grew brighter. The ground shook. Cora screamed, Eli, run! But it was too late. The beam swallowed them both, and as they vanished into the sky, only silence remained, broken only by the whisper of red dust falling back to the ground. Eli woke to silence. Not the silence of Mars, no wind, no hum of machines, but a heavy, strange quiet that pressed against his ears. He tried to open his eyes, but the light was too bright. It wasn't sunlight. It was gold, warm and soft, like being inside a living flame. When he finally adjusted, he realized he was lying on a smooth white floor that shimmered faintly beneath him. The air smelled clean, but not like air he knew. Every breath tasted alive. The room had no walls, just flowing curves and patterns that moved slowly like they were breathing. He sat up fast. Where am I? A voice answered from nowhere and everywhere at once, calm, musical, but cold. You are aboard my vessel, human. Eli froze. The sound made his heart race. It wasn't a voice meant for mortal ears, it was perfect, like it came from a dream. Then she appeared. From a doorway of light, Queen Seraphine stepped into the room. Her silver armor had vanished, replaced by a gown of flowing crystal threads that shimmered like water under the sun. Her hair floated gently around her shoulders, glowing faintly with gold light. Eli stared, speechless. She wasn't just beautiful, she was unreal. Her skin seemed to hold the color of morning light, her eyes a deep gold that felt both gentle and dangerous. She studied him quietly, her expression unreadable. So this is the human who repaired what the galaxy could not. Eli found his voice. I didn't do anything special. I just fixed her. Her eyes glimmered. Her? You speak of the fragment as if it were alive. She is alive, Eli said firmly. Her name is Cora. She talks, feels, remembers. Seraphine tilted her head slightly, curious.
Interesting.
Most humans fear what they don't understand. You pity it. Eli stood up, though his knees felt weak. I don't know about pity. She was broken. I just wanted to help. A faint smile touched her lips. A strange creature, this human heart. It repairs what it does not own. Eli frowned. You call her a fragment. But she's more than that, isn't she? The queen walked closer, her steps making no sound. You dare to question me? Only because I want the truth, he said. Seraphine stopped in front of him, barely a breath away. He could feel a faint warmth from her body, like standing near a star. Her gaze was sharp, piercing through him. The truth, human, is that you have broken a sacred law. My daughter's soul was sealed within that vessel. You touched it. You reawakened it. That is forbidden. Eli clenched his fists. I didn't know any of that. I just fixed what was crying for help. Her golden eyes narrowed.
And yet you succeeded where even our high priests have failed.
How? I don't know, he snapped. Maybe because I care? Because I didn't see her as a thing? For a heartbeat, the air shifted. The queen's expression softened, her eyes searching his face as if she was seeing something new. Emotions, she murmured. Humans are still ruled by them. Then she turned away. Sit, Eli Ward. He hesitated. The floor reshaped itself into a floating chair behind him. He sat down slowly, not taking his eyes off her. A small sphere of light floated beside Seraphine, projecting images in the air of a young alien child with silver eyes and laughter like bells. The same glow as Cora's. "This was my daughter," Seraphine said quietly. Her body was destroyed in an attack by smugglers. Only her soul's memory remained. "I placed it in that vessel, but it was lifeless. For years I tried to restore her, but even our greatest science failed." Her voice darkened. Then I felt her signal awaken again. "On your planet. You made her heartbeat." Eli looked at the image of the child, then back at Seraphine. "I didn't bring her back. She was never gone. She just needed someone to listen." Seraphine turned sharply, golden fire flashing in her eyes. "Do not speak as if you know love better than I do, human." Eli didn't back down. "Then why did she cry alone in the dark? Why did she fall from the sky?" The queen went silent. For the first time her expression broke, just a flicker of pain quickly hidden. Cora's soft voice broke through the air. "Mother." A light appeared near the ceiling. Cora's small form, glowing blue. She floated gently between them, her metal wings fluttering. "Please don't hurt him." Seraphine looked at the fragment of her daughter's soul. "You care for this human?" Cora nodded. "He fixed me. He made me remember love." The queen's voice trembled slightly. "You remember love? Because of him?" Eli stood quietly, his hands at his sides. "Maybe love isn't something you build, Your Majesty. Maybe it's something you fix." For a long moment, Seraphine just looked at him. The golden glow around her dimmed slightly, her voice no longer sharp. "Your words remind me of her." Then her tone hardened again, though not with anger, more like fear. "But the galactic law forbids resurrection. For what you have done, your life is forfeit." Eli took a breath. "Then take it. But don't hurt Cora." Seraphine's eyes widened. For the first time in thousands of years, someone stood before her without fear. A human, a mortal. She reached out and touched his face lightly, her fingers warm and electric. "Your courage fascinates me." Her eyes softened, voice low. "Perhaps your death is too small a punishment. You will come with me instead." Eli frowned. "Come with you? Why?" Her lips curved into a faint, mysterious smile. "Because, human, I wish to understand the heart that repairs broken stars." The floor beneath him turned to light, and before he could speak, the world dissolved again. His body lifted into gold, his voice lost to the hum of her living ship. And in the silence that followed, Cora whispered sadly, "Mother, don't break him too." The ship moved through space like a dream, silent, endless, and alive. Eli Ward stood by a large window of golden glass, staring into the stars. He still couldn't believe any of it. Just yesterday he was fixing drones and cleaning dust from rusty gears. Now he was standing inside an alien queen's living ship, watching galaxies spin past like dust motes in sunlight, and somewhere behind him, he could feel her presence, Queen Seraphine, ruler of the Serenay Empire. She was silent, but her silence was heavy like gravity. Every time she entered the room, the air seemed to hum softly, responding to her emotions. Her beauty wasn't just physical, it felt otherworldly, like looking at lightning and trying not to blink. Eli turned when he heard her voice, calm yet sharp as crystal. "You stare at the stars like a child," she said. "Do you hope to find comfort in them?" Eli met her golden gaze. "I just like to know where I am. Helps me remember I'm still alive." Seraphine stepped closer, her gown glowing faintly as she moved. "Alive," she repeated quietly. "Humans speak of life as if it were a gift. For my kind, it is a duty." He frowned. "A duty?" She nodded. "We are born to serve the balance of creation. To live is to obey the laws that govern existence. To defy them is to invite destruction." Eli tilted his head. "Sounds more like a prison than a life." Her eyes flashed briefly. "And yet your kind breaks everything you touch." Eli smiled faintly. "Maybe, but sometimes we fix what others give up on." Seraphine paused, studying him. There was no fear in his eyes, only quiet stubbornness. For reasons she could not explain, that unsettled her. Finally, she said, "You brought my child's soul back to light. Do you know what that means?" Eli shrugged. "It means she's alive again. Isn't that a good thing?" Her expression darkened. "It is forbidden." She moved closer, her golden aura pulsing like a heartbeat. "In our laws, reviving a lost soul is the highest crime. Only gods may restore what was erased." Eli crossed his arms. "Then maybe your gods need to learn compassion." A spark of emotion flashed in her eyes, anger, surprise, something else. You dare mock divinity? He shook his head. No, I just think love is stronger than any law. The silence that followed was sharp. The ship itself seemed to pause. Seraphine slowly raised her hand. You speak boldly for a creature so fragile. Tell me, human, would you give your life for love? Eli met her gaze. If it's real, yes. Something flickered in her golden eyes again, pain this time. She turned away. You remind me of her, she murmured. Always asking why. Always feeling too much. Eli took a cautious step closer. Your daughter? Seraphine nodded. She was curious about humanity. She said your kind felt emotions in colors no other race could see. I warned her curiosity would destroy her. And I was right. Her voice trembled slightly, the first sign of weakness he'd seen in her. When she died, the stars went silent for me. Eli spoke softly. I think that's why she sent Cora, to find someone who still listens to the stars. Seraphine turned sharply. Enough. Her voice echoed through the room, and the walls pulsed with gold light. You repaired the fragment and awakened my pain. You must answer for that. Eli took a breath. So what happens now? You kill me? She walked toward him slowly, every movement graceful and dangerous. No, death would be mercy. You will live, but your life will belong to me. Eli frowned. Meaning what exactly? She stopped an arm's length away. Your hands have touched divine energy. You carry something inside you now, a connection that even I cannot undo. I need that. You're saying, you want to use me? Her lips curved slightly. No, human. I wish to study you, to understand how a creature of dust could repair the heart of a goddess. Eli gave a bitter laugh. And if I refuse? Seraphine's gaze hardened. You won't, because if you do, I will destroy the fragment you love. The words hit him like a punch. You wouldn't. I would, she said quietly. I have already lost one child. I will not lose the last piece of her to corruption. Eli clenched his fists. You call compassion corruption? She stepped closer, her voice soft but burning with power. Your compassion broke a sacred wall between life and death. You repaired a soul that was meant to sleep forever. The universe will not forgive that, and neither will I. He glared at her. Then why haven't you killed me yet? Seraphine stopped, her face inches from his. Because, she whispered, I cannot. Eli blinked. What? Her golden eyes trembled, her voice unsteady. When I touch your mind, I feel things I should not. Fear, sadness, hope. They are contagious. The air between them shimmered. For the first time, Seraphine looked uncertain, vulnerable. Eli spoke softly. Maybe what you're feeling isn't weakness. Maybe it's what your daughter wanted you to feel again. Her expression froze. Then she turned away, hiding her face. Enough, she said coldly. You will be taken to the sanctum. There, we will begin. Begin what? Her voice was calm again, but there was something trembling beneath it. Your transformation. You will give me your body and the life within it. I will use it to restore my daughter fully. Eli's heart stopped. You mean, kill me to save her? Seraphine didn't answer. She looked out the window instead, watching the stars. Some things, she said softly, must be broken to bring others back. And as her guards entered the room, Eli realized what she truly meant. The queen didn't want to destroy him. She wanted to become him. Eli Ward didn't know how long he'd been locked inside the glowing chamber. Time didn't move the same way here. There was no day or night, just soft golden light that never changed, and the faint hum of the ship's living systems breathing around him. He sat on the smooth floor, staring at the faint scars on his hands. He'd always been proud of those hands. They fixed things that others threw away. They built, repaired, created. But now, they were the reason he was trapped. He had repaired a soul, and the universe had called it a crime. A voice broke the silence. You do not sleep? Eli looked up. Queen Seraphine stood outside the transparent wall that separated them. She wasn't wearing armor this time. Instead, a long white robe flowed around her like mist. Her eyes glowed less brightly now, more like candlelight than burning suns. Hard to sleep, Eli said, when you're waiting to die. Seraphine's expression didn't change. You will not die if you cooperate. Eli smiled faintly. You mean if I let you tear my body apart for your experiments? You misunderstand, she said. I do not wish to destroy you. I wish to understand you, Yeah, he muttered. That's what every scientist says right before something explodes. For a moment, something like amusement flickered in her golden eyes. You are not like other humans, she said softly. You speak even when silence would save you. Maybe I like being heard, he replied, her gaze held his. Then speak. Tell me what you felt when you repaired the fragment. Eli hesitated. You mean Cora? Seraphine's voice sharpened. You gave it a name. She already had one, he said simply. You just stopped saying it. That hit her harder than she expected. The room seemed to breathe faster, reacting to her pulse. Answer the question, she said quietly. Eli looked down. What I felt. Sadness, hope, like something small was begging the universe not to forget it. He looked back up. I couldn't ignore that. I don't care if it's a law or a sin, I just didn't want her to be alone. Seraphine's face softened slightly. Alone, she repeated as if tasting the word. Eli leaned forward. You know that feeling, don't you? Her eyes flashed with light. You speak as if you understand me. I don't, he said. But I can see it. You hide behind power and rules because you lost something you can't replace. You think control will make the pain go away, but it never does. For a moment, Seraphine said nothing. Then slowly she stepped through the barrier. The wall dissolved into dust and she stood before him. Do you know what pain means for my kind? She asked. Eli shook his head. It means weakness, contamination. If we feel too much, our minds collapse under the weight of emotion. Maybe you should stop running from it. Eli said quietly. Feeling doesn't make you weak. It makes you real. Her eyes widened slightly. Real, she reached out and touched his chest right above his heart. It beats faster when you speak. That's called being nervous, Eli said. And when you fixed the fragment, it beat like this too. He nodded slowly, because I was afraid I might fail. She tilted her head, her golden hair catching the light. You fear failure? I fear losing what matters, he said softly. Even if it's something small. Seraphine stepped closer. The glow from her skin dimmed as if absorbing his warmth. You are strange, she whispered. So fragile, and yet your spirit burns louder than stars. Eli gave a faint smile. You're starting to sound like you like me. Her lips curved slightly. Like you? She repeated as if the word was foreign. I do not, I study, but her voice trembled. Her hands, once steady and cold, now shook slightly. Then suddenly the ship's voice echoed through the chamber. Warning, emotional contamination detected. Neural link unstable. Seraphine stepped back sharply. No, the lights flickered. The walls pulsed like a heartbeat. The air filled with strange symbols, floating and burning. Eli frowned. What's happening? She pressed her hand to her temple, her voice trembling. Your emotions are affecting my link. I cannot separate my mind from yours. Then stop trying to control it, he said. Let it happen. Her eyes glowed brighter, full of fear and anger. You don't understand. If I lose control, I destroy everything I touch. Eli stood. Then maybe you've been destroying everything because you never let yourself feel anything good. The ship trembled again. Cora's voice suddenly echoed through the air, soft and urgent. Mother, stop! You're merging with him, Seraphine gasped, clutching her chest. I can feel her, she whispered. Her laughter, her joy. Tears formed in her golden eyes, the first tears Eli had ever seen her shed. For thousands of years I ruled through silence. Now I hear her voice again. Cora's light appeared between them, glowing brighter. He made you remember love, Mother. Don't fight it. Seraphine dropped to her knees, her voice breaking. I feel everything. The pain, the loss, the warmth. She looked up at Eli, trembling. You've infected me. Eli knelt beside her. Maybe I healed you. Her eyes met his, full of confusion and awe. No one has ever made me feel before. The golden light in the room softened. The walls stopped shaking. For a long, quiet moment. The Queen of Serenai knelt beside a simple human, her hand resting on his heart, her breath trembling like a mortal's. Eli whispered, Maybe that's what your daughter wanted. Seraphine, to remind you what it means to be alive. She closed her eyes. Alive. Then she opened them again, and there was something new there, something deeply human. But beneath that softness was fear. Fear of what she was becoming, because the most powerful being in the galaxy was beginning to feel too much. The silence that followed was heavy, like the whole ship was holding its breath. Golden light drifted through the air, pulsing softly. like the heartbeat of a sleeping star. Eli Ward stood beside Queen Seraphine, unsure what had just happened. She was the most powerful being he'd ever seen. Yet now she knelt before him, shaking, breathing hard, clutching her chest as though something was breaking inside her. Her once flawless voice trembled. "I can feel her. I can feel everything." Eli took a cautious step forward. "Seraphine, it's all right." "No," she whispered. "It's wrong. This feeling, it burns. It makes my heart weak. It makes me want." Her golden aura flickered violently. The ship around them responded to her emotions, walls twisting, the air thickening. Eli could feel her confusion bleeding into the atmosphere like a storm of light and sound. "Stop fighting it," he said softly. "You're just feeling what you've been avoiding for years." Seraphine's gaze snapped up, her eyes blazing. "You speak as if this is a blessing." "It is a curse. The Serenai do not feel. We rule, we preserve order." Eli stepped closer. "And that's why you've forgotten how to live." The Queen stared at him, this fragile human who dared speak to her like an equal, and for the first time, she didn't know what to say. Before she could answer, the ship's light dimmed. A blue glow shimmered near the ceiling, and the small figure of Cora appeared. The little metal bird fluttered down, wings trembling, her voice soft but clear. "Mother." Seraphine froze. The sound of that word pierced her like a blade. Cora landed between them, looking at her mother with glowing blue eyes. "You're hurting," she said quietly. Seraphine's lips parted. You are only a fragment. You should not exist, but I do," Cora said, tilting her head. "Because he cared?" She turned to Eli. "Because a human chose to fix what was broken instead of walking away." Eli smiled faintly. "Hey, kid. You holding up?" Cora nodded. "I am." But she is not. Seraphine stood slowly, her gown flickering with unstable light. "Cora, my child. You were never meant to awaken. The universe will not forgive this violation." Cora looked up at her. "You say the universe won't forgive, but maybe you mean you won't forgive yourself." Her mother flinched. Cora continued softly. "You built walls around your heart, so you would never feel pain again. But now you can. Doesn't that mean you're still alive?" Seraphine's golden eyes filled with tears she didn't understand. "If I accept these feelings, I will lose control. My empire will crumble. My people will see weakness." Eli stepped beside Cora. "Maybe they'll see something better. Maybe they'll finally see you." The Queen looked at him, torn between anger and longing. "You speak of things beyond your place, human. Do you know what I must do to restore balance?" Eli's jaw tightened. "You said it before. You want my body, my life, to bring her back." "Yes," she whispered. "Only by binding her essence to a living vessel can she be whole again." "You are that vessel, Eli Ward." Cora's light dimmed. "No." Seraphine reached out her hand toward Eli. "Your soul has touched hers. If you give yourself willingly, she will live again. You will die, but she will breathe." The room fell silent. Eli looked at Cora, then at Seraphine. He smiled sadly. "If my death brings her back, maybe that's worth it." Cora shook her head violently. "No, you don't understand. If she takes your body, she'll erase you completely. You'll be gone, Eli." Eli knelt to her level, his voice calm. "Cora, you deserve to live. Both of you do." Cora looked at her mother desperately. "Please, Mother, don't do this. He saved me because he wanted life to mean something. If you kill him, you'll destroy the only thing that made me alive again." Seraphine's hand trembled. Her glow flickered. Her voice cracked. "I cannot lose you again." Cora's voice softened. "Then don't lose him." Eli looked between them, heart pounding. "You both have a choice," he said quietly. "You can keep breaking everything that loves you, or you can stop and start over." Seraphine's aura surged. The ship itself groaned under her conflict. The air turned cold, then warm again. Her tears floated upward like drops of gold. Cora's voice trembled. "Mother, if you take him, I'll fade. Because love can't live where hate rules." Those words struck the Queen harder than any weapon. Her knees gave out. She fell to the floor, shaking. The light around her flickered wildly, fading into soft gold. "I don't know how to stop," she whispered. "I don't know how to feel without destroying." Eli knelt beside her, placing his hand over hers. "Then let me help you." Seraphine looked at his hand, the same hands that had repaired her daughter's soul, and then at his face. For the first time in ages, she saw no fear there, only quiet strength. Her voice was almost a whisper. You would help the one who wanted your death? I fix what's broken, he said softly. Even if it breaks me too. Cora floated above them, her blue light growing stronger. Then maybe it's time to fix all of us. Her body shone brighter and brighter, light flooding the chamber. Seraphine's tears turned into golden sparks lifting into the air. The ship's heartbeat grew louder, faster. Mother, Cora said softly, her voice echoing through the ship. You once told me the stars listen to love. Maybe now it's your turn to listen back. The Queen looked up at her daughter's glowing form and whispered, Forgive me. And as Cora's light expanded, wrapping around both her mother and Eli, a warmth filled the room, a warmth that wasn't pain or power, but something deeper. Love. The light swallowed them whole, and for one eternal moment everything stopped. Time, sound, fear, even death itself. The light faded slowly, like dawn rising after 1,000 years of night. Eli Ward blinked, feeling weightless. He wasn't sure if he was alive, dead, or something in between. Everything around him was quiet, warm and golden, like he was floating in liquid sunlight. He tried to move his fingers but couldn't. Instead, he felt movement through energy, like ripples in water. His body was gone, or maybe it wasn't, it just didn't feel like it used to, Eli. He knew that voice. It was soft, trembling, familiar. Cora, I'm here, he said, though he wasn't sure if he spoke aloud or just thought it. Where are we? Cora's small light drifted closer, shimmering blue against the gold around them. Inside the merging field, she said quietly. You opened your heart and Mother followed. The link is complete now. Eli turned, or what he thought was turning, and saw her, Queen Seraphine. She was standing in the golden mist, her body glowing faintly, her eyes no longer burning with pride or anger, but peace. Her gown rippled like sunlight on water. She looked human. Not fully, but partly, softer, warmer. Eli spoke carefully. What happened to us? Seraphine looked at her hands. They were trembling. Something impossible, she said. You and I, we have merged through Cora's light. Your humanity, my essence, her soul, they are now one. Eli frowned. So I'm part of you? She smiled faintly. And I am part of you. He looked down at himself. His hands, if they could still be called hands, glowed faintly blue and gold. Energy pulsed beneath what used to be skin. He felt her presence inside him, her thoughts brushing gently against his own. And for the first time, Seraphine didn't feel alone. The golden chamber began to shift, its walls rippling outward like water. The ship was changing too, responding to the new energy. It was no longer just Serenai technology. It was something new, something alive in a different way. Cora's laughter echoed softly. You fixed both of us, Eli, he smiled. Didn't think I'd have to fix an empire too. Seraphine's voice was quiet. The Serenai will not understand this. They will see it as heresy. Then show them its hope, Eli said. You don't have to lead through fear anymore. Show them what feeling can do. She looked at him, her golden eyes filled with wonder. You speak of love like it's a weapon. He smiled faintly. Sometimes it is. As they floated in that space between worlds, the merging continued. Seraphine's memories passed through Eli's mind. Centuries of rule, loneliness, and sacrifice. He saw her empire of shining towers, her armies, her throne of stars. He saw how she had lost her daughter, how guilt had hollowed her heart. In return, she saw him, a human boy fixing broken machines in a dusty workshop, a man who built kindness out of loneliness. His grief, his failures, his stubborn compassion, she felt what it meant to be human, to care even when it hurts, to hope even when there's no reason to, and she wept, not with golden tears this time, but real ones. Now I understand, she whispered. Humanity isn't weakness. It's the strength to keep repairing what breaks. Eli reached out, touching her face gently. And now you'll never forget it. Outside the ship, the galaxy stirred. The golden vessel that once represented the might of the Serenai Empire now glowed with twin colors, gold and blue, like two souls sharing one heart. The Serenai fleet, hovering in silence nearby, watched as the impossible unfolded before their eyes. A voice carried through the void, Seraphine's, but softer, blended with Eli's tone. To the people of Serenai, she said, today I return not as your queen, but as something new. I have touched humanity and found it worthy. The old laws of silence end now. Across the fleet, the Serenai fell to their knees, not in fear, but in awe. Cora hovered near them, her wings now glowing brighter than ever. "Mother," she whispered, "you changed the stars." Seraphine looked at Eli. "No," she said. "We did." Time passed differently in that golden realm. When the light finally began to fade, Eli felt his body returning, solid again, though not as it was. His skin carried faint patterns of gold, like glowing veins under the surface. His heart beat with two rhythms, one human, one Serenai. He was both, and neither. Seraphine stood beside him, radiant and calm. "You carry part of me now," she said, "and I carry part of you. Together we are a bridge." Eli chuckled softly. "Guess that makes us family." For the first time, Seraphine laughed, a real gentle laugh. "Yes," she said. "A strange one." Cora fluttered between them, landing on Eli's shoulder. "And I'm not broken anymore," he smiled. "No, kid. None of us are." They stepped toward the viewport as the stars stretched out before them. Mars glowed faintly in the distance, the place where it all began. Eli sighed softly. "Never thought fixing a toy would lead to this." Seraphine looked at him, her eyes shimmering. "You didn't just fix a toy, Eli Ward. You repaired a heart that had forgotten how to beat." He met her gaze, feeling warmth spread through the golden patterns in his skin. "Then let's keep fixing things. Together." The Queen of Serenai reached out and took his hand, human fingers and divine light intertwining. And as the golden ship drifted into the stars, a new legend began, of the human who repaired the heart of a goddess, and the goddess who learned to feel again. They were no longer two worlds, they were one,